There we go. Hi! I'm really tiny. It took me a long time to figure out what was the original like setup for reading this novel, but I figured out the camera setup finally. Hi, what's up? Each is based on the mangas. Yeah, are we talking about the anime? Yeah. Each one season, one manga, basically. And I like that because it's not gonna they're not gonna rush the the books. Now reading time. Yeah, yippee! So this is the final part. I am not reading anymore because you know, I feel like if you want me to read the entire book, you might as well get the book yourself and read it. So and you could get it online. There's a Kindle version, you can get it physically, Barnes and Nobles has it, all that. So yeah, we're just reading the prologue. After that, we're not reading anymore. Also, I'm trying something new with the music. So I'm just gonna put this here. And let's see. I'm gonna hope that this works. If this does not work, then I'm a bit worried. Just a bit, tiny bit. Alright. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Wait, hold on. I didn't do it for YouTube. Bum, bum, bum. Which one is it? This one. Okay. Do you guys hear that in the background? No, no, no. Yes? No? You can hear it? Okay, perfect. Alright, then we're set. So last time in the novel... Oh. Wait, last time in the novel, where were we? Uh-oh. I don't remember where we were. Did I lose the bookmark? Ooh, wait, no I didn't. Oh yeah, I was. Bro, I got distracted by pictures and I was just flipping through the book. Ah! Why did I remove the bookmark? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Where's my bookmark? Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. I think instead of playing that music, we're gonna play something else. Something entertaining. I wrote like the notes for this too. Let's see here. So the last time we left off, Ace and Grim are fighting. And I think Ace got caught. Yeah. Ace got caught and then Crowley caught him. So we're gonna play this song. the This should loop it. Perfect. Okay. And my webcam. Boom. Okay, there we go. Yay! First yesterday? Ooh. First yesterday and now today? You got it in for us or what? Grim protested. Yuya wanted to lodge the same complaint, but he stopped himself with a sigh. He wasn't going to have any extra time to do research in the library after all. Finding the world he came from was going to have to wait a little longer, it seemed. If only he knew! If only Yuya knew what is in store for him, bro. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna try to use the bookmark here, but it's a bit... yeah. As soon as Crowley was gone, the ghost came flying over. The head mage got really mad at us, you know, one told them ruefully. Said we can't be leaving you all on your own when you only just got here. Sorry about that, another continued. We never dreamed you'd be this bad at being janitors. Not the ghost roasting us too. I'm not bad at it, Grim growled. I mean, I'm not a janitor. What are you so angry about? The ghost asked. And Grim thrust a fist up into the air. That mouthy jerk Ace was talking like I'm some kind of failure, he complained. Oh, is that it? The ghosts glanced at each other and chuckled. They're not taking him seriously at all. Well, I gotta be honest here. It's no wonder. I mean, you guys are famous. You were the stars of the orientation yesterday and everything, one ghost said. Ran into some of the school's ghosts earlier and they couldn't stop blabbing about you. So we got a couple real life ones this year, said another. Bro, so like basically the staff is just the professors, Crowley, Sam, and then everybody else is ghosts and fairies. Can you imagine the lounge? Like the ghost lounge or the teacher lounge? It's just like it seems insane to me. Do they even pay the fairies and ghosts? I hope they do. No, they have to pay them. They probably don't pay them like through money, because like ghosts can't really use money and fairies don't really use money. Or no, they do. Do they use fairy dust instead of money? Anyways, it's wild that they have other creatures besides humans working here. But hey, if it gets the school working. What's happening? This is the twist novel. Twist novel. Actually, let me bring TikTok chat up here so I can read it better. No. Hello. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna do it like this. Can't pop it out like a normal person. Oh, okay. There we go. Tinkerbell. They get by food and trinkets. I guess, yeah, that works. Food and trinkets. Ghosts be roasting us. Yeah. Okay. Right, and they couldn't stop laughing about yeah. Said we got a couple of real live ones, that said another. And the paintings keep boasting. Like, I talked to that last guy first, and I scared him first. We got him beat by a mile, though. We're your roommates. What? No, that's what they talk about, seeing who they can scare the most. That's so evil of them. Oh my gosh. So, people are talking about them, then Yuya's hand suddenly felt heavy around the broom handle, and his shoulders slumped. Abruptly, Grim slapped his legs and Yuya jumped. Ow! What? Why didn't you say anything back to that stupid Ace? Grim demanded, standing on an upside-down bucket, arms crossed. He was just barely within striking distance of Yuya's head and shoulders, but the eyes glaring up at him were nothing less fierce. The stuff he said to you was real awful, but you grinned just like an idiot. He even made fun of me because of you. Should have socked that guy right in the kisser. Socked? Yuya stared at Grim in disbelief. You can't go around punching people. What? Grim held his fists up, ducking and weaving. Coward. Now, the ghost said placently. Didn't the headmage tell you to quit making trouble? Grim gritted his teeth and stamped his feet, and the metal bucket beneath him wobbled and changed against the ground. Oh, clanged against the ground, not changed. Oops, I can't read. The violent sound seemed to give voice to his extreme annoyance and vexation at having lost the argument with Ace. Yuya frowned while the ghost bobbed around him. But you, one of them said, you're never gonna make it like that. Huh? Yuya shifted his gaze from Grim to the ghost. All we're saying is, nice guys don't got no chance at this here school. Wow. The reputation's in the gutter for Night Raven College. The headmage didn't tell you? The third continued. Night Raven's the top arcane academy in all of Twisted Wonderland. Study all you want, but it doesn't mean you got even a chance of getting through those gates. You get that letter of acceptance, and then the black carriage rolls up at your door. You have to have magic for that. real special magic, see? So why does that mean I'm never going to make it here? Yuya asked, and the ghost cackled hysterically. This one's a dim ball, huh? Stop it! You is not dumb! You is not dumb, ghost! You is from another world, dim bulb. The thing is, these kids are a proud bunch, you get me? The second said. Trust me, another added. We've been keeping watch over the school for so long I can't even remember. So we know. Okay, so in Twisted Wonderland, in order to get to Night Raven College, you just have to be a really proud dummy. Not dummy, I guess, just proud. You have to have a lot of pride. Kaleem checks that. Silver doesn't have a lot of pride, though. He's just... Yeah, how did Silver get in here? That doesn't make any sense. But Kaleem is prideful. So is Ace, Deuce, Jack, Pell, Sebek. A lot of them are. But Silver being prideful? I think he's just... I don't know. I think he's like... He just... I don't know Silver like that. There's a twist novel. What's it called and where can you get it? You can get it at Barnes and Noble. And this is the name of the book. Twisted Wonderland. Rose Red Tyrant. The novel. Here's Riddle. Yippee! Okay. Seriously, the ghosts in the prologue now are ruder than in the game. They're way more ruder. I think they just give them more lines. And when you give someone more lines, you start to realize their actual personality. Like, we don't really interact with the ghosts as much as we do in the novel so far. I feel like we've read way more lines from the ghosts at this point than in game. I ordered at my local bookstore. Hey, nice! Yeah, make sure you guys check your local bookstores. You'd be surprised to see which local bookstores have it and have it not. And if they don't have it, you could just ask. Can you get it for me? Pretty please, with a cherry on top. Okay. The thing is, these kids are a proud bunch, you get me? The second said, trust me. The ghosts were strangely persuasive, and Yuya was reminded of Riddle's behavior the previous day. He's been almost brimming with pride, and everyone else had taken this in stride, acting as though it was totally normal. See, that's the problem here. That's Riddle's part of the problem. About the only thing any of them believe in is their own power. They don't trust nothing else, and they don't expect other people their same. If I were being nice, I'd say they're determined to stand on their own 2 feet. And if I weren't being nice, well, they don't care about anyone. Everyone once in a blue moon, you see a kid who's not like that, but... The ghost shrugged. As a rule of thumb, you better not expect anyone to come digging you out if you get into a jam. Especially anyone from a different dorm. These kids are pretty territorial, you know? Extra hard on outsiders. What the hell, bro? Yeah, that. You wouldn't believe the fights we've seen. What have they seen? Now I wanna know! What's the tea? What's the tea on what is it? The previous generations. Although, you know, we never saw anyone set the Great Seven on fire before. The ghost laughs as one. Okay. Territorial. Fights. Hard on outsiders. You grew pale. So, like, he paused to pull together his thoughts. You mean magic is something special even here in this world? Oh yeah, that's pretty important. You should probably tell Yuya about that. I'm gonna go over to TikTok's side so I don't block anything. Have they translated all the Savannah Claw manga yet? I don't think so. Not all of it. Despite on the species... Oh, officially? Officially they haven't. Unofficially they have. Still waiting for news about the Octagon and all of them. Me too, bro. I want to read that one so bad. Depends on the species, the ghost looked Yuya over and thought for a minute. I guess right. Humans like you, maybe 1 in 10 can use magic, and most of them, I mean, they can basically move a cup onto a table or light a fire without a match. Real small stakes. It's rare ones who got enough magic to get into Night Ribbon College. Okay, so this is... Pause the dumb music. This is smart time. We're getting into lore. This is important. So it's more common that people with powerful magic don't exist. Or no, I mean, they do exist, but it's very rare. Let's see. This is this is history class, Matt. History class moment. Okay. Surprised, Yuya looked over at Grim. The monster was still on top of the bucket, head thrown back in an extremely smug fashion. Okay, Grim is not with us in this conversation. Ever since he first encountered Grim the day before, he felt like he was pretty full of himself, and now it all clicked into place. It was probably the magic and Grim's obvious command of it. Monsters and humans no doubt lived different lives, but even still, setting the large mirror chamber ablaze wasn't normal for this world either. Yuya understood on a painful level how powerful the students in this place were, given that they had simply stood back and watched the whole thing unfold with amusement. You do whatever you're told, like a little like a good little boy, and you won't last a week here. Even more so since you can't use magic. These kills will be extra hard on you, you can be sure of that, the ghost continued. Push comes to shove, you gotta let 'em have it. Don't worry, sure you ain't got magic, but you got fists at least. Bro, what would Crowley say if he heard the ghost saying, bro, you need to fight. You need to fight to be here. Oh my god. This is why I love novelizations. They expand the lore in so many ways. They expand on lore, characters, personalities, and even the NPCs we get to know more about. Like, the ghosts seem like our actual roommates now. Like, I believe they're our roommates now, because, like, this is totally something a roommate would say to us. Well, I mean, abnormal roommates, at least. I think most roommates would not encourage violence, but these are so. Let's see here. Right, yeah! Grim cheered. Next time we see that Ace, we'll beat him up black and blue. Nice, the ghosts grinned at each other. You just gotta. For real, you gotta. I can't. You just murmured too quietly for Grim and the ghosts to hear in their excitement. I'm not that kind of person. Oh no. The others looked at him dubiously, perhaps noticing how extremely pale he was. Hey, you big baby, Grim snapped. You can't go giving up before you even get started. I'm not going to get started, Yuya cried. I told you before, I've never been in a fight. Not once in my whole life. Not once? Grim gaped at him. You really never ever fought even once? Yeah, that's foreign to anybody outside of Night Ribbon College. Let's play this one. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want that. This one. There we go. Not once? Grim gaped at him. You really never ever fought even once? Insane. Although Grim looked stunned at his confession, Yuya had a harder time wrapping his mind around Grim's perspective of picking fights nonstop, as he had been since the day before. Yuya was bad at confrontation. Just the thought of having words with someone caused his heart to leap up into his throat. Oh my god, he's an introvert! He's real! He's just like me! And made it hard to breathe. The anguish he felt at the idea was closer to disgust than pain. Did anyone actually like fighting? It seemed to him that no one in their right mind could honestly enjoy giving themselves up to danger and the general exhaustion of attack. Ace raring for a fight, Grim ready to take him on the drop of a hat, the crowd of people cheering them on, it all seemed like a bad joke to Yuya. No, 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 Grim shook his head firmly. You can't have never fought once. I mean, how are you even still alive? Grim, it's not that serious. The ghosts also wore expressions of surprise on their faces. Guys, please. Oh my god. This would be totally opposite if Yuya ended up in RSA. They would be like, oh my god, you fought somebody? But why? What happened? Come on, you're a teenage boy and all. You must have got into it with a friend or something. Yeah, exactly. Another ghost nodded, a dreamy smile on his face. Ah, sweet youth. Hot-headed, hot-blooded, picking fights and patching it up, making best friends even better. All that decades behind us now, though, huh? Damn. I wonder if the ghosts of NRC are ethical ghosts, you know what I mean? And when I say ethical ghosts, I'm wondering if, like, these are dead students or, like, ghosts that volunteered. No, a ghost would never volunteer to be stuck at Night Raven College. Never mind. Why would you choose your afterlife to be at college for the rest of your life or high school? That seems awful. So I think the way that they recruit staff members is like if someone accidentally dies on campus, they just work there forever. That's kind of dark now that I think about it. You know what? I'm not gonna think about it, but that is a mystery. That is a mystery. Hiring ghosts since you can't pay them, bro. It's insane. Crowley's insane. But he's funny. I love him. Oh, Yuya turned his eyes to the ground, feeling awkward. I don't really have any friends. Silence fell over both the ghost and Grim. Oh. Oh. You don't have any friends? What the hell? You don't have any friends? One ghost finally asked. Yu shook his head. I mean, we might end up fighting, so... Getting close to someone made it more likely than he'd clash with someone. In which case, the best thing to do was to keep a reasonable distance from everyone so that he never had a difference of opinion with anyone. Whoa! What is this logic? He was always hyper-aware of the potential for conflict, which led him to avoid any real connections. This was how intensely afraid he was of quarreling with people, which was why he had never had a true friend, not during high school or at any time before. Oh, Yuya is about to hate his life for the next, 7 books? Yeah. There's gonna be so much conflict. But he's gonna make friends because of it too, so it's fine. But damn. This is why I called you a wuss. Honestly, you're valid for that. Cause who does this? I mean, even the people that are lonesome in high school have a friend outside of high school. Well, from my understanding, from what I've experienced. But like, damn. To isolate yourself to the point where you don't have any friends because you're afraid of conflict is crazy. Live a little. Isn't that sort of putting the cart before the horse? The ghosts looked at each other incredulously. Unbelievable. But you're so young! It's not like I've met anyone I wanted to be friends with anyway, I told him, unfazed. I just don't want to fight. He didn't have any hobbies, and he wasn't particularly passionate about anything. Plus, the root of all conflict was ambition and desire. If he found something he couldn't let go of, he would no doubt be forced to fight someone to protect that thing. I mean, I don't even like to see fighting, he continued. I get so scared, my heart starts pounding like it's going to break right out of my chest. The only reason they managed to chase off the ghosts last night was because of Grim. Yuya hadn't been able to do much of anything. Grim had been the one to face them. Yuya was only too aware of that. He'd been lucky. Things had just joined when the K-boys arrived. They appeared. One appeared. A couple appeared. Happened to work out yesterday. The best thing... Oh, camera. Okay, there we go. The best thing was not actually getting into a fight to start with. I'm begging you, Grim, Yuya pleaded. Don't pick any more fights. Please, my life gets shorter just watching. Not the begging. Grim raised a dubious eyebrow at him. Come on, you can't be serious. You're a coward, a weakling. I'm just a regular, Yuya cried. Everybody hates fighting. You're the weird one, Grim. Your fuse is way too short. Regular? No one's gonna respect you talking like that. Shape up, human. Although if the time loop theory is real, that might be trauma talking. Honestly, that's really interesting. Now that you pointed that out, yeah, this could be like the previous timelines affecting this you. Only the mangas have different you per book, which is crazy to me. I can't wait though. I can't wait. It's like having like a new OC, inviting a new OC to my tea party. No, actually, I avoid fighting. Me too. I think the most sensible people avoid fighting. Only Night Raven College boys would seek out a fight. Say what you want, you replied. This is how I am, so the ghosts watch you and Grim with amusement. But the way you talk with old Grim here, you sound pretty friendly, he gasped. Now that you mentioned it, it was way easier for him to talk with Grim than other people. This was maybe the first time he'd spoken so freely and comfortably with someone outside of his family. Maybe because it doesn't feel like I'm talking with a person? Ha! Yuya said. True, a ghost nodded, and he doesn't look like a person either. So then the two of you make a good team, huh? Another noted. We're not a team, Grim snarled. He's my henchhuman. A real delicate flower, high-maintenance henchhuman. He sighed heavily in a way that was at odds with his appearance, as in the weight of the world were on his shoulders. He seemed to have entirely forgotten that he himself was the reason that the head mage was angry with him. A bell rang in the distance, no doubt the signal for the start of class. The ghosts lifted their faces. Whoopsie! We all got carried away chatting, one of them said. Listen, word of advice since you're going to be hanging around the academy now. Watch out for them students. Remember, we warned you. Oh no. Anyway, better get back to work, another said. We're all supposed to head on over there and clean since they gotta do some emergency repairs on the Queen of Hearts here. The ghost pointed an apologetic Yuya toward the castle Ace had disappeared into. He passed through it with Crowley the night before, the main building of Night Raven College. He walked down Main Street with Grim and the ghosts and climbed the stone steps leading up to the school. Okay, school time. There was no hint of sea air he'd sniffed the day before. Maybe his nose had gotten used to it. A pleasant breeze blew, making Grim's ears flutter gently. Yuya stared up at the gray walls and black roof under the bright sunlight and almost winced at how imposing the building was. The longer he looked at it, the bigger it seemed. According to ghosts, more than 800 students were enrolled at Night Raven College. This was about the same, or maybe a little more than the number of students at Yuya's own school. He was a little surprised that there were so many, since he assumed that such a prestigious academy would only admit an elite few. But apparently, this school had 4 grades, one more than Yuya's. It's pretty standard for an arcane academy, the ghost told him. 800 is still a lot. But that means, like, it's not always 800 on campus. I could have sworn they said 600 in, whatchamacallit? 600 in the... Where is this page? Okay, there we go. In the game. So that probably means there's 200 for 4 years. 200 students that are in the 4th grade. Interesting. Let's see here. He'd heard of high schools on 4-year system overseas in his world. He figured it was something like that and nodded in understanding as he grew short of breath. Climbing the long staircase. Oh my god, I'm trying to get this page to stay still, bro. Okay. Do you guys bend your books? I feel like I need to bend this one, but I don't. So 3 teachers teach 600 students? Yup. That must be insane. Oh, no wonder Cruel hates his job sometimes. Train. No wonder they hate Crowley, cause like why does he not hire more people? What the hell? They also, you have to account for like some classes are taught by ghosts though. But that's still insane. That's still insane. I feel like we should have a little bit more, cause Cruel is like taking care of like all the years. I remember he's like first year, second year, third year. True, yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't think they do like an 8-period schedule where like everybody takes like all their classes for the semester in one day. I think they have like do you know like the A-B schedule? They have 4 blocks. So you're taking 4 classes a day, but each day is something different. I think that's what they're doing. They're the ones who lasted this long. Everybody quit. Hi, are you gonna try the game The Kid at the Back or Home Use Cipher? Oh yeah, I'm gonna play Home Use Cipher on I think Tuesday. Because book 7 is gonna come out like later, and I don't think I'll have time for it. I think I'll play book 7 on Thursday, and then the twist news on Friday. That's the schedule for next week. Kylie has made you the unpaid therapist for a reason. I mean, no, they have paid therapists on screen. They have counselors, but they don't show them. They're off screen. They do mention other teachers and stuff, but I'd love to see more teachers. Me too, bro. I know they have an art class. They for sure have an art class, and I want to know it. They do have Culinary Crucible, and the Culinary Crucible is a class according to the introduction or whatever. And so that one is hosted by Ghost. So AB school schedule is a love and hate relationship. Yeah. Captain Hook and Twist win. Yeah. Are you excited for the Twist anime? Yes, I am. Of course I am, bro. But I'm keeping it low key. I'm not rising my expectations too high. Because, like, Yana was never, like, I don't think she's in the production. I mean, it's good that they're following the manga, so, like, they have something to go based off. But, like, I don't know. I feel like the creator should be part of the production of, like, an anime in order to be, like, really good. Just, you know, my take. Hot take. Okay. Although most of the forest years field work, another ghost noted, so those guys hardly ever on campus. Don't have rooms at the dorms no more. They're scattered all over the world doing live-in practicums. The third ghost sighed. September's always so sad. Every year, all those goodbyes. Dorm rooms? Grim asked. He stopped and set his bucket down. So the other guys live here too? Mm-hmm. The ghost nodded. Each dorm has its own special building. What? Grim shouted. I could have been living large instead of a run-down mess of a building? I hate that ramshackle dorm. Grim, no. The ghost cheered. Ramshackle dorm. Ooh, I like it. It has a real charm, one said. Yeah, perfect for our historical home. The ghost laughed. Now that we got a cool name, our building's number 1. Rent 0, one of the ghosts said. Immediate occupancy, okay. Comes with yard, furniture, and ghosts. Could do without that last one, Grim grumbled. Ignoring him, one of the ghosts pointed. Take a look behind you. Oh, Yuya and Grim both turned around. After climbing all those stairs, they had now an excellent view of the campus. That there at the end of Main Street? Those are the main gates, the ghost indicated, the large iron gates visible up ahead. The iconic one that we see in the login screen. Yeah. They're mostly for guests. The students live on campus, so they don't usually use them. The next ghost pointed much further to the left. And you see that building with the round roof? That's the Hall of Mirrors. It's where they keep the mirrors that lead to the dorms. Mirrors, Yuya parroted. Oh dear, the ghost frowned. Had you never heard of a mirror? Real useful doodads. You can use them to make yourself look nice, and the extra fancy ones will take you to different places. No, I know what a mirror is, I think. The dark mirror yesterday had been a surprise for you, yeah? And it seems like it wasn't the only mysterious mirror in this world. The ghost continued to point out the different places on campus and give them a brief overview of the facilities. The library, the shop, the greenhouse, a large lawn for sports, and another separate stadium for tournaments. Yuya looked out at it all from his position on the sunny hill, and desperately tried to cram the information into his brain. Neighboring college was big, and he couldn't getting lost. He hadn't forgotten the ghost's warning about no one coming to his rescue if he got in trouble. Oh, is this it? Is this the next page? Yeah. Wait, that's it? That's the end of the chapter? Oh. Okay. How are you guys still getting ads? Yo, YouTube is ripping me off. I swear. I said it to be manually and they still run them no matter what. Like it has to be like some sort of thing that I'm not aware of. I'm checking right now. Cuz there's literally no other option for me to control ads except here. So save. Okay. I resaved it. Let me know if that fixed it. If not, then I'm extra mad. Bad YouTube, you wish to be ad free. Yeah. I mean, maybe if I needed like turn off no. Okay, we'll see. Let me know if the ads still continue. If it still continues, I'm just turning off monetization because I just let the only ads that ever play are like when you first enter the stream, and then that's it. Yuya, Grim, and the ghost got down to business cleaning the building that was far larger than he imagined. Art room, music room, cafeteria, lecture halls of various sizes, closets, washrooms, and went on and on. It didn't make any sense. He could only assume the inside somehow had more rooms than what he'd seen from outside. Because he had to carry Grim after the monster just stopped moving halfway through the day, he was completely wiped out by the time the last bell rang. I'm so tired, Grim whined, hanging limply over Yuya's shoulder. Let's go home. We can't, Yuya said as he took several deep breaths. We still have to clean the windows, remember? Before his eyes was at the door, the ghost had led them to the classroom where Ace supposedly was. If you know, you know. You're a stupidly serious henchman, Grim told him. Deep down, Yuya also just wanted to go back to Ramshackle dorm. It would have been so much easier to go home and go to sleep. But when he recalled Crowley's disappointed face, he really couldn't bring himself to go against the head mage's order. Image sounds so adorable. It is, bro. I'm telling you, this book brings so much personality. Okay, I'm gonna change the music now. I'm kind of getting tired of it. This one. Let's do. This one. Okay then, the ghost said as they faded out of existence. Play nice with the hearts, little kid. You always felt a little nervous going into a classroom that wasn't his own. He swallowed hard, mustered up his courage, and opened the door. Is Ace Trapula here? He timidly asked the boy standing I thought he yelled that. Closest to the doorway. He had shiny navy colored hair, and a clear open face. Like Ace, he had a card suit drawn around his right eye, a black spade. Oh my god, guys! Ah, it's him! Ace? The boy asked, shaking his head. Sorry, I haven't gotten to know everyone by the name yet. What's he look like? You thought for a second. He had a heart mark on his face. He's super mean, Grim interjected, sticking out his tongue over Yuya's shoulder. Oh, that guy. Already on bad terms. No. Oh. I'm playing this. The boy nodded and Yuya wondered which comment had stirred his memory. He already left. He left? Yeah, he was yelling real loud a second ago. Oh wait, there he is. Yuya followed suit to find a slender figure up ahead in the hallway, with hair a color that melted into the evening sun. It was definitely Ace. Hey man, you got visitors! The boy shouted, and Ace looked back over his shoulder and immediately broke into a run. Huh? Uh-oh. Hold on. Wait! Hey, is he maybe? He's trying to ditch us! Grim shouted and leaped down from Yuya's shoulder, his hackles up. Stop right there! Like it or not, you're coming with us! No way! I'm getting stuck on window duty on the first day of school! Ace yelled as he glanced back at them and waved a chin-on hand. You two got this! Please and thank you! An enraged Grim chased after him as the students still at school peered curiously out in the hallway from their classrooms. Yuya felt dizzy as the thought of another fight like the one from that morning. I gotta do something. We're gonna get in trouble with the head mage again, he moaned. The head mage? The boy with the spade mark yelled as he flinched for some reason. That would be very bad. We have to stop them. Come on! He charged down the hall, and Yuya chased after him. The boy pulled out a pen as he ran and muttered to him, Stop them! Stop them! But how? Body slam? Grab their legs? No. Use rope to tie them up? Or a cage? But then what shape? You punk! Grim howled at Ace. This time for sure I'm turning you into a charcoal! Please hurry! Yuya begged desperately. Anything if it'll stop them. The boy shouted as if shaking off his doubts. I summon thee, cauldron! The area around Ace fell into darkness. Ace grunted as he was slammed flat on the ground, crushed beneath a giant black pot that had abruptly dropped out of nowhere to land on top of him. He kicked and flailed, pinned to the spot. Hey! What is this? It weighs a ton! Grim doubled over laughing. Look at it, you! You're squashed flat like a frog that got run over by a car! Yeah! Did you do that? Yuya asked. Yeah, the boy said as he scratched his head awkwardly. I went and pulled the cauldron out again. Thank you so much. You really saved us. It was the least I could do, the boy said. I don't know the whole situation here. Oh, God. But I do know you don't want the head mage getting mad at you. If you don't know what's going on, then you should keep your nose out of it. Ace finally succeeded in crawling out from under the cauldron and glared at Yuya, causing Yuya's heart to stutter. Man, you jerk. 100 windows? You two could have just banged them out yourselves. I mean, you're the janitors, aren't you? We were told to finish up before supper, Yuya mumbled. The head mage might think of an even worse punishment if we don't get all the windows cleaned. You have to wash 100 windows? The spade boy stared at them in disbelief. We only just started school. What could have you done to get a punishment like that already? Kind of burned the Queen of Hearts statue a little. Yuya's voice grew quieter with each word until it trailed off entirely. You damaged a statue of the Great Seven? The boy leaped back, stunned. No wonder he flew off the handle at you. After you managed to get into this school, how could you get in trouble on the very first day? Oh, shut up. Ace clicked his tongue. Anyway, who are you again? My name is Deuce Spade. Oh, right. Ace bobbed his head up and down. You're the guy who was all hyped in the dorm yesterday. Deuce sniffed. Indignantly. You could at least remember your classmate's name. Deuce, you didn't remember him either. Classmates' names. Ace pointed side-eyed him. Like you remembered mine, genius. Deuce swallowed hard. Anyway, you shouldn't shirk an order from the head mage. Get to work! Yeah, message received. Fine, let's go bang out the windows already, Ace sighed loudly. Why is this happening to me? Come on, losers. Huh? He whirled his head, looking at either side of Yuya. Where'd that dusty hairball go? Huh? Yuya frowned. Furrowed his brow as he looked around too. Hey, you're right, Grimm's gone. Grimm's gone, you guys. Where could he be? Let's see here. Which one should I use? I'll use the same one and I'm gonna switch to a different one. See, came a snug from all laugh ways off. You quickly turned his eyes toward the sound and spotted Grim. Standing at the end of the hallway at the top of the stairs, he clicked his tongue at the flabbergasted Yuya. See ya, suckers! He shouted. The whole thing was Ace's fault, so Ace can clean up the stupid windows. That little... Oh no, not wait, where did you get this? Barnes and Nobles. I got it from Barnes and Nobles. You can get it at your local bookstores too. The whole thing was Ace's fault, so Ace can clean them up the stupid window. Oh, I already read that. That little, he used me to get away, Ace growled, slapping Deuce's shoulder. Hey, Juice! Juice? Deuce stared at him, confused. You mean me? My name is Deuce. Whatever, help me catch that furball. Why me? 'Cause that dodo there can't use magic, so he's out. Ace rolled his eyes at Yuya. Unless you want the head mage down your throat, it's you and me. Deuce gritted his teeth. Fine. He followed Ace to the hall and disappeared down the stairs, chasing after Grim. Neither boy looked back at Yuya, a clear sign of how utterly useless they considered him. For a second, he wondered if he shouldn't just go back to the dorm by himself, but he was too scared about what might happen if he did. In the end, he simply trailed after the others. Ace and Deuce had cornered Grim in the cafeteria, an enormous space with rows and rows of long tables and chairs. Sunlight poured in through the large windows, coloring the hall a warm red. A heavy chandelier overhead shone with an orange light as it draw out the twilight. Yuya joined the other two boys in staring up at that swinging light fixture. Grim was clinging to the decorative chains. Hairball! Ace yelled. You get down here right now! Not a chance, human! Grim laughed. Come on, catch me if you can! Oh, God. Ghosts in chef hats. You guessed they were at the cafeteria. They were cafeteria workers, drifted out of the kitchen into the hall, likely wondering what the ruckus was about. They shuddered and gasped when they saw Grim hanging from the chandelier. Is that the monster everyone's talking about? Ghost Case? Gasped. No fair, climbing up where we can't reach you, you coward! Ace yelled. It's just plain smarts, Grim taunted. Oh, brother. Not the witnesses. They added in witnesses to the scene? That's insane. Oh, God. You're a bunch of dudes, this is all. Come down here and say that, Deuce challenged, glaring fiercely and looking like an entirely different person in his anger. Shoot your mouth off while you can, you little weasel, Ace shouted, his mouth trembling with rage as he tightened his grip on his pen. Just wait, I'm gonna knock you into next week. Stop! Yuya managed to squeak when the boys raised their hands, ready to fire their magic at any second. A sternly silent Deuce and an icy cold Ace craned their necks to look at him. What? Stop fighting. That's all he wanted to say, but the words clung into the inside of his throat, and he couldn't push even one word out. It felt like he swallowed a thin plastic bag. The words crumbled and blocking his airways, nearly suffocating him. Stop fighting. I've had enough of these arguments. Can't you find a better way of doing things? That's what he wanted to tell them, and yet the words refused to come out. While he hesitated, the words grew sodden in his mouth and eventually melted away. Seriously, what? If you got something to say, then spit it out! An annoyed Ace rebuked the silent Yuya. If nothing else, waiting for Yuya to speak had seemingly had a calming effect on Ace as he looked at his hand, then at Deuce's. He was clearly picturing what would happen if they both let loose with magic indoors at the same time. But it and it was giving him pause. But could turn into a whole thing if he went all in with magic in here. We gotta think of another way to catch Grim. A way to catch Grim, Deuce began muttering to himself. Catch. The idea is just coming to him. They probably think back to this every time Grim, you, Ace, or Deuce gets lunch. Bro, for real. How could you forget something like this? We can't reach him. We haven't learned flying magic yet. Catch. Wedge. Pinch. He jerked his face up with a gasp. That's it! Oh, you came up with something? Ace cried excitedly, looking at Deuce. Hang on. Why are you turning your magical pen on me? The shiny black fountain pen Deuce used to cast his magic was thrust squarely at Ace. I'll just throw you up there, he said matter-of-factly. What? Ace and you cried out simultaneously. Ace tried to run, but it was too late. His body floated up into the air and flipped upside down. He was helpless to resist, like a handkerchief caught on a tree. This was not a good look for him. Put me down, you dodo, he cried. Quit it, for real. Yes, right. Yes, right, you agreed, panicking. Deuce, you really ought to. Yeah! Fighting scream! Deuce tightened his grip on his pen, a serious look on his face. You make sure to grab him tight. No, I can't. Ace protested. Stop! Abort! Oh, go! Deuce flung out his arm and Ace shot up toward Grim. Blah! Ace's scream echoed through the cafeteria. Meow! Howled Grim. A horrible, ear-splitting cacophony drowned out every other sound in the hall, louder than all the dishes at the biggest restaurant in town, all crashing down onto the floor at the same time. He stood rooted at the spot, mouth hanging open at the shocking sight before him, so mesmerized that he didn't even think to plug his ears. Dizzy in the face of such a nightmare, Ace had crashed into the chandelier and shattered it into a million pieces. The chandelier! The ghost chefs were screaming. Somewhere, though, it sounded far off from the ringing in Yuya's ears. Feet crunched against the fragments of a glass, scattering them and sending them clattering against the floor. Oh, they're ridiculous. Ace marched out of the cloud of dust that accompanied the chandelier's fall from the ceiling and walked over to Yuya and Deuce, rubbing his backside. He was scowling fiercely, but he appeared to be okay. Man, I thought that was the end of me, he said. What were you thinking? Deuce averted his eyes awkwardly as he mumbled, I admit I hadn't considered the landing part. You complete and utter moron! Ace snarled. You got rocks in your head or what? Where's Grim? Yuya asked, glancing around the pile of glass, but he saw no sign of the monster. Then a gray furball blanket stretched out beneath a chair off to one side caught his eye. Grim must have been knocked down when he flew into Ace. He ran over and picked him up. Grim's mouth hung open loosely and his eyes rolled back in his head. He had been knocked unconscious. Meanwhile, Ace and Deuce were arguing loudly. Idiot, stupid, dunce, absolute dodo, Ace howled. It's not like you had any ideas, Ace, Deuce shot back. Having no ideas is way better than having the bizarre idea of throwing an actual person. And like, what are you going to do about that? Ace pointed at the shattered chandelier. If the head mage finds out about this... If I found about what? Came a voice. All three boys rolled around. The head mage! They gasped. Crowley was standing in the cafeteria doorway. Chef goes flying around behind him. It seemed that they had alerted the head mage to the situation. Boys, what exactly is the meaning of this? The wings attached to Crowley's coat looked as though they were standing. Birdman! He really is a birdman at that point. On end. Yuya reflexively took a step at the powerful aura of wrath hanging over the head mage. It had been one thing after another since he had arrived the day before, and each time Crowley had sighed in exasperation, bemoaned the facts, and been surprised by the events. But this was the first time Yuya had seen him so angry. Oh, Crowley's pale lips trembled. The cafeteria chandelier. It's not what it looks like, head mage, Deuce cried, panicked. This is... It wasn't me, Ace interrupted. It was Deuce and Grim. It was all their fault. Quiet, Crowley barked. First you burned the Queen of Hearts statue, and now you destroy the precious chandelier. I can bear it no longer. I have never encountered such a terrible student before. He took a deep breath and slammed his staff against the floor. The cold clack echoed through the dining hall. I cannot turn a blind eye to this. You are both expelled. What? Ace and Deuce shrieked. You and Grim. Crowley turned to look at them. You are also to leave immediately. Where is this? No! Yuya gasped, still cradling the unconscious Grim. Oh my god, Grim is unconscious at this point? I totally forgot about that. Holy crap, that's kind of dark. He found a place to live and lost it again in a single day. Before he could start to beg for forgiveness, however, Deuce was racing over to the head mage. Please, please, anything but that! Deuce howled, practically in tears. His face was scrunched up so that the confident eyebrows that usually made him look so cool and collected were pulled down low, creating an impression of desperation. He looked ready to drop to his knees on the glass-covered floor. I'm begging you, I can't be expelled from the school. I have so much to do here. That is unfortunate, Crowley told him. But you have only yourself to blame for your foolish behavior. I'll pay for the damages if you let me stay, Deuce wailed. Damages? Crowley echoed miffed. That chandelier is no mere light fixture. It's a magic chandelier. Its candles are powered by a magical energy source, enchanted so that they will burn for eternity. The three boys looked at the object they had broken. Brackets like the antlers of a deer stretched out from the large chandelier, embedded with countless bits of brilliant glass, glittering like morning dew. Only moments earlier, the candles had covered the cafeteria in a warm blanket of light. Now the chandelier was split in two on its axis, a mere shadow of its former glory. It was created for us by a legendary artificer? Oh yeah, artificer. 100 years ago. Possibly their finest creation. They have a novel? Yes, they do. Here's the cover. You can get it in Barnes & Nobles or Amazon. You're welcome. I swear I'll go to the mirror and threaten the mirror to take me back, bro. Even if you threaten it, the mirror generally doesn't know where you belong, which is so sad. Oh man. Here we go. Oh, guys, when you think about it, this is basically season 1. This is gonna be the season 1 anime. I don't know if they're gonna use Yuya or if they're gonna use Yukian. Maybe Yukian, because that's what was in the manga. Anyways, enough about that. It was one of the Academy's most prized treasures, considering its historical value. I would estimate its worth to be no less than 1 billion Thalmarks. A billion Thalmarks? Deuce cried. There's no way I can pay that. Were Thalmarks the unit of currency here? Judging from Deuce's reaction and the way the color drained from Ace's face, you understood that whatever a Thalmark was, 1 billion of them was an enormous sum of money. If they couldn't cover the damages, then they had zero chance of being able to, given that he didn't even own any clothes. He racked his brain frantically, searching for some other solution. RSA raid? Bro. I mean, honestly, if they didn't get the chandelier, they would have gone to RSA. Wait, is this an actual, like, raid? I'm getting confused. No. Okay, cool. I was like, huh. Oh, he cried in sudden realization. Right, magic. Can't you fix it with magic or something? Yeah, yes, Ace smiled awkwardly. We still hardly know any magic at all, but I'm sure with your magical talents, sir, you could snap your fingers and fix it right up. I would expect such talk from you, young Ace, but you also appear to have failed to grasp the boundaries of what magic can and cannot do, Crowley sighed, shaking his head as he pressed a hand to his forehead. Magic is not a panacea? Alright? Some things are simply impossible, and any magic carries with its certain risks. Magic is no wishing well. They're there to grant your heart's every desire. Crowley turned his back to the boys and poked at the mountain of chandelier debris with his staff, possibly looking for something amid the glass. Ah, he said sadly and crouched down. Reverently, he scooped up what he found and wrapped it in a black handkerchief. Sitting atop the fabric was a gem about the size of a fist, broken clean in half. Behold, this precious mage stone, the figurative heart of any magical artifact, is broken. Without its mage stone, the chandelier is beyond repair. Even if we were to restore its appearance with magic, it could not light up the room the way it once did. Both candle and flame used the mage stone as their source of power. The pale peach stone rolled slightly on the black handkerchief. It must have been quite beautiful in its original state, and the cracks that marred its delicate cut were painful to look at. Magic seemed like the only way to potentially put the two halves back together, but now that Crowley had told them that even magic could not perform that miracle, they were completely out of cards to play. Cripes! Toos groaned and covered his face with his hands. No! How can this be? After I finally managed to get into Nightroom College, how am I going to tell my mother? Yuya and Ace were forced into silence. Crowley opened his mouth again, abruptly, as though something had occurred to him. Perhaps there was still hope for them. Ah, but there may yet be a way, he said. Oh? He said there might be a way. Huh? Deuce yanked his face up. Ace shoved him aside and pressed him in on the head mage. What is it? This way of yours. The mage stone that powered the chandelier was exacerbated from the enchanted mine, Crowley explained. It may be possible to obtain a mage stone with similar properties there. And if you found a new mage stone, Yuya asked hopefully, it would be possible to repair the chandelier, Crowley agreed. I'll go and find one, Deuce declared immediately. But the mines were closed quite some time ago, the head mage cautioned. They may no longer be any mage stones to find. I'll go and look, if there's even the slightest chance, Deuce insisted. Ace and Yuya both bobbed their heads up and down. Yuya had absolutely no idea where this mine was or what it would be like. But like Deuce said, if there was even the slightest chance of getting out of this mess, he was willing to take it. Very well, I will suspend your expulsion for a single day. Crowley held up a finger and repeated, 1 day only. The dark mirror will allow you to travel to the enchanted mine instantly. I shall await until the date changes to see if you are able to return with a replacement. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Deuce said. Please keep in mind, however, Crowley continued, that I will be forced to ask you to leave the academy should you fail to bring me a mage stone. Deuce clenched his hands into a tight fist. Yes, sir, he said through gritted teeth. We will absolutely restore the chandelier. Bro, the way that Crowley and I remember in game when Crowley said, "Oh my god, your eyes actually did it. I didn't actually think you would do it." The way that he talks here, like you're giving him no choice. You have to leave the academy should you fail to bring me Mage Stone. Like you're making this the only option for them, bro. Like what, Crowley? Come on, you seriously didn't think they would actually go? They're dumb. But I bet he didn't think they were that dumb. Anyways, bust out the spare change sign, guys. Maybe Kaleem could have helped us out, bro. If only we bumped into Kaleem instead of Ace. Well, yeah. I feel like the chandelier thing would have still happened. Anyways, when Yuya opened his eyes, he was standing in a quiet wood enveloped in light spilling out from the dark mirror. How did this turn into such a giant hassle? Grim shouted, making the leaves on the trees around him flutter. He'd been complaining ever since he woken up, and Yuya had explained the situation to him. Oh, okay, hold on. This is a new day. Look, Weasel, Ace snapped. This is all your fault. Actually, I think it's your fault, Ace, Deuce interjected. You were the one who ran away to start with. Sure, Ace is no saint here, Grim agreed. But you threw him at me! You're the one on the hook too, Deuce. What? Deuce glared at him. Says the monster that climbed onto the chandelier. The evening sun that poured into the woods was a fiery red, carving out deep shadows around the trees that were more threatening than simple darkness. Their lazy branches beckoned lazily, urging them farther into the forest. You could sense the presence of the birds and other small creatures, but they were all hiding in silence. Perhaps afraid of this group of interlopes, the disturbing quiet and the eyes of invisible animals set you on edge. Not to mention that Grim Deuce Ace had not stopped arguing once they had left the cafeteria, and just being near them was exhausting. Ah, there's a cottage over there, he cried, pointing to a structure by the side of the river. Maybe someone's home. They might know something about the mage stones. He ran toward the small house as if fleeing his companions, but when he knocked on the door, no one answered. When he looked at the building more closely, he saw the roof and the walls were covered in moss and the windows overrun with vines. He gave the wooden door a gentle push, and it opened easily. Huh, so it's empty? Ace asked, peering in from behind him. The place is a total wreck. I seriously doubt anyone lives here. The inside of the house was dark and in poor shape indeed. The room was thick with spiderwebs, and it was clear no one had stepped inside in quite some time. As he examined the furniture, Yu got the feeling that something was off somehow. The table was very small, as were the chairs lying on their sides on the floor. 7 in total, all in the same style. He wondered if they had been made for children and squinted to get a better look at the place. There was still a pot on the hearth, large enough to feed more than a few people. The shelves were cluttered with a random assortment of dishes and culturally. Yep, there we go. The kitchen must have been bustling, full of life back when people still lived there. He was staring at the pot, now white with dust, and letting his thoughts wander to the cottage's former residence when he suddenly heard Deuce's voice off in the distance. Hey, I found the entrance to the mine! Damn. It's kind of freaky that the old places where like the dwarves and Snow White used to live are kind of like gone now. And they just have like their ancestors. Or not their ancestors, but like people that are just inspired by them. Like these places still exist. Mm. Yep. Hold on. I don't know why, but like chat is kind of like delayed. It's not like showing all the messages from YouTube. Here we go. Where is it? Jamil will kill us? Bro, that's crazy. Yuya walked over to Deuce, who was standing in front of a large hole in the face of the mountain. A narrow passage led into the rock, almost like it was being drawn into the hole, and it was so dark he could only see a few meters ahead. If we're gonna find a mage stone, it'll be in there. Ace pulled out the flashlights he brought along for this reason and handed one each to Deuce and Yuya. With nothing but these small circles of light to guide them, the group started into the mine. The tunnel was wider than Yuya had imagined, and the air was chilly. He could hear water trickling somewhere. It's all damp and clammy and dark and scary, Grim muttered. Kind of like a ramshackle dorm. Okay, ramshackle dorm, Ace frowned and confused. Oh, that's the building Crowley's letting us stay in, Yuya has said hesitantly. He felt nervous talking to Ace for some reason. Deuce looked back at them from where he was walking up ahead, a puzzled expression on his face. Dorm? You're living on campus too? And like, what are you anyway? Ace demanded. Where'd you come from? Yuya explained his odd situation as they advanced down the rocky path, heels clacking. Another world? Ace and Deuce exclaimed in unison when Yuya was finished. I didn't even know there was other worlds, Ace said, eyebrow high on his forehead. Me neither, Deuce agreed. First I've heard of it. Okay, then, what if we don't find a mage stone and you get chased off campus? What then? Ace turned his flashlight on Yuya, questioning. Ace, I don't know. What do you think? Because, I don't know. Is it just me or do I feel like that was kind of like an insensitive question to ask? Maybe not, but like, I guess it's good to like game plan just in case. Could be, yeah. Let's see. I want to play something else. I guess I'll just switch back to this. Yuya squinted at the light. All he could offer in response was a feeble smile. What? Ace grimaced. If I'd known all that, I'd have... Shh! Deuce interrupted sharply. Did you hear that? No! Wait! Deuce, don't interrupt him! I wanted to know what Ace was gonna say! No! He said maybe I should have let easy on you. Honestly, Ace is sweet sometimes, bro. But like, oh my gosh. At first they thought it was the sound of the wind, the rumble of air as it slipped between the rocks and scraped up against them, but they could hear something else mixed in with it. Is it getting louder? Deuce whispered. Oh, wait, hold on. It was a groan. Something was groaning. Just as Yuya came to the realization, he saw a dim light ahead, where the corridor branched off. The disturbing purple light flickered and grew larger, approaching Yuya and the others. Plish! 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 He heard liquid splashing, like droplets landing wetly on the cold rock. Plish! 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 The sound went on and on, planting seeds of fear in his heart. Hey guys? Grim said nervously. What is that? The source of the splashing revealed itself slowly, and Yuya stared stunned. He had no idea what he was looking at. No give. An enormous mass of dirt shuddered. It held a pickaxe and a lantern. It had hands and a body, but no face. In a place of a head, it had a floating spherical ink bottle. The black liquid inside oozed like coal tar and dripped slowly, drop after drop, out from a crack in the glass. The mass of dirt groaned like it was in pain. Stone, stone. Oh my god. While Yuya and his comrades gaped, the mass of dirt brandished its pickaxe. Stones are mine. strapped and rolled away to dodge the sharp end of the pickaxe as the blade sliced into the metal. Tracks at his feet like they were soft butter. Dude, stop dying, bro. Yo, another person who has near-death experiences, unlike you, it's Deuce. Deuce almost died in the prologue, and Ace as well, and in book 1, and Ace as well. Yeah, I think Heart Shackle in general just has, like, issues. Like, guys, please love life a little. What in the... He cried out, still flat on his backside. Seriously, what is that? A dirt monster? The pickaxe whooshed through the air toward Yuya. He glued himself to the rock, face of the tunnel wall, just barely avoiding the blow. How would I know? He cried wildly. I've never seen anything like it. No one told me about no dirt monster, Grim shrieked. As he jumped on to one side with Ace, he launched a fireball from his mouth, but it was swallowed up by the black fluid and snuffed out. I can't believe my magic isn't working! Get back, you giant dodo! Ace blasted the creature with his wind magic, but like Grimm's flames, it was quietly absorbed. Get out! Get out! The monster roared. While it was focused on Grimm and Ace, Deuce hurriedly got to his feet. He readjusted his grip on his flashlight, ready to start running in the opposite direction from the monster, and then abruptly called out, Ah! A mage stone! Yuya followed Deuce's gaze and saw a glint of something catching the light farther down the tunnel. A glittering gem, half buried in the stone, so big that he could sense from just a glance that it was special. Even from afar, it was so beautiful that he stopped and stared in awe, almost forgetting where he was. Hey, you dolt! Ace roared angrily. Focus! Giant dirt monster! Oh, God. Deuce turned and braced himself for a fight. He was glaring at the magical pen he held in both hands, and his lips began to move as he muttered something. Ace shot him a look as if to say they did not have the time for him to do whatever he was doing, and cast his wind magic at the monster once more. The pickaxe easily knocked the spell aside, turning it into a whirlwind that grazed the ends of Deuce's hair. When he danced out of the way of the mini tornado, a flash flood gushed out in all directions from the tip of his magical pen. Yikes! Ace cried, leaping out of harm's way. Deuce gritted his teeth in vexation. Be careful, you jerk! Right, back at ya, Ace snarled. Can't you control that thing? The air between them crackled in argument, just waiting to erupt again. Ace, Deuce, come on! Yuya shouted. Grimm was already sprinting out of the tunnel ahead of them. The three boys desperately chased after his furry, rounded back. The moans of the monster and the chill of the air closed in around them. God, please. It's gonna get us, Grim wailed. Yuya gasped for air. His chest hurt. His throat was sticky with thirst. Every breath was a fight. He toppled forward, half falling into each step, but he somehow kept himself upright and concentrated on putting one foot in front of the other as quickly as he could. He wasn't the only one. They were all panting and wheezing and groaning. He wouldn't have been surprised if one of them had simply collapsed. That's insane. Reading it like this, it kind of like puts it into more perspective of how much of a serious life and death situation this was for them. Like, they literally could have died in the prologue. Like, we could have like just died and only knowing Ace and Deuce and Grimm and Crowley. And that's it. And the ghosts. But that's it. We would have not known anybody else. Rose, I think other people are dead right now. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Stones are mine! A roar ripped through the air, almost deafening them. Cripes! Juice waved his magical pen wildly. I summon thee, cauldron! A heavy thud echoed in the tunnel. Yuya looked back over his shoulder. The same massive pot that was previously fallen from the sky to crush Ace was now blocking the narrow, curving passage. Came a ferocious roar from the other side of the barrier. The monster howled in fury, but before long, they heard a slithering, dragging sound, and they could no longer sense the creature's presence. Oh, I'm alive. Yay! You made it! You survived the blot monster and Deuce's cauldron. But before long, they heard a slithering, dragging sound, and they couldn't no longer sense the creature's presence. Yuya stared at the cauldron and dropped to his knees as if in prayer, while Grim and Deuce and Ace flopped back onto the ground, their chest heaving. Oh, brother. Wow. Let's put this on. Finally, they were all too winded to speak for a while. Finally, Ace raised his hoarse voice to make himself heard over all the panting. That monster was a total gross out. What was it? No idea, Deuce shook his head weakly. It was no normal ghost, that's for sure. Grin managed a hint of a nod. Ghosts aren't black, and they definitely aren't as scary as whatever that was. Facts, preach. Oh wait, I realized the music wasn't playing? Okay, you know what we're gonna do? Because it just stopped picking it up for some reason. Here we go. We're just gonna do this. There we go. Better. I was switching up the music to— God damn it! I ruined the freaking— whatever. TikTok heard it though, so it's fine. At least one person heard it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, turn like all these off. Well, I'll leave it as is right now. It's fine the way it is right now. No idea. Deuce shook his head weakly. Wait, I read that. Blah, 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 blah. The ghosts who come out of the walls at Yuya yesterday had been scary, true. But he figured that that was more due to the surprise of encountering ghosts for the first time, rather than there being anything inherently terrifying about them. Sure, their love of pranks was a bit of an issue, but after speaking with them in the light of day, he felt almost fond of the funny little guys. Funny little guys. You're using Monarch bookmark? Yay, we're twinning! Wee wee! It's a hologram, right? Holographic? No, a hologram. What's it called when you can move it like this? Whatever. Anyway, it's my favorite bookmark ever. I like to use it for my favorite books. Which is this one? There we go. Twitch do not though. Yes. Okay. The monster in the tunnel, though, the thing inspired real terror in him. His arms were still covered in goosebumps, and he rubbed them off with a shudder. He wondered how he had known that the headless creature was a threat to his life the second he saw it. Chills had run up his spine as he felt a powerful instinctive loathing of the black liquid dripping from the massive bulk. The way it looked, that voice, just remembering them, made the contents of his stomach turn. Can't have enough lives going up against a thing like that. Ace got to his feet, glanced at the cauldron up ahead. He seemed to be considering something. He looked back. The entrance to the mine was too far off. They had come quite a distance in their flight from the monster. He shook his head. Let's just give up and go home, he said decisively, as though he had never been sure of anything in his life. We can snag a mage stone someplace where there's not a monster bent on murdering us. There was that fork in the road right after we came in, yeah? We still got other places to look. Huh? Deuce looked up at him. How can you give up when the stone is right there? You all saw it. It was huge. We are 100% unexpelled. If we bring that mage stone to the head mage, we have to go back and get it. Oh, I know where this is going. Hold on. I'm gonna play the music before they even get a chance. No, Ace shook his head firmly, back and forth. That's an absolutely idiotic move. Going back in there with that thing? It's not an idiotic move, Deuce protested vehemently. We've only got 2 hours until it's morning. We don't have time to go look for another one. Listen, you. Ace let out a long sigh. You're putting on a real show here, but can you actually take the monster out? Or is it like the chandelier and you're just gonna charge in there with absolutely no plan and drag the rest of us down with you? You're a real pain in the butt, you know. If we're talking death or just letting time run out, I'll always pick time. Chicken, Deuce said coldly. What? Ace glared at him. Deuce drew himself up and returned the glare, pulling his chin in. His voice was low and threatening as he started in on the other boy. You swagger around like you're the king of the hill, but you're all talk, no action. If you weren't willing to put your life on the line, you never should have come here in the first place. If you're not willing to put your life on the line, then you shouldn't promise that right from the start. Why don't you just go back to your coop, you big chicken? I don't want to be chased out of school either, Rim cried as if he emboldened by Deuce's spirit. Ace winced ever so slightly, then smiled coldly, as if to say there was no way he was going to back down now. Okay then, you two go on ahead with your sad little baby magic and fight the big bad monster. I'd like to see you try. Neither of you's even half the mage I am. Huh? Deuce cried. Oh, it's on. Go ahead and say that again. How dare you call my magic sad? Rim snarled. You could only stand there rooted to the spot while they yelled and argued around him. It's your fault. To start with you, angry roars filled the air, battering both Yuya's nerves and his ears. Oh god. He hung his head and saw that his clenched fists were trembling. His heart was pounding as if it was going to pull itself apart, and he'd never been so out of breath in his life. He'd been hot before, and yet now he was so cold he could hardly stand it. The tension was a living creature, snaking around him and holding him fast. He was not good with fighting. He hated it. He lived his whole life expressively, avoiding a hint of anything that might have been a fight. And yet, from the moment he arrived in this place, the day before, it had been a constant stream of battles. The more he tried to avoid them, the worse everything got. Challenges, threats, arguments, violence. Bad things just kept happening. Was it his fault for not being able to stop it? Would he be in a different position now if he'd been able to say something at the moment leading up to this one? Would he have been able to avoid this horrible quarreling? The commotion was so loud that covering his ears would do nothing. Before he knew it, he was shrieking, "Stop fighting!" All shouting ceased immediately. His companions had apparently been stunned into silence by the fact that Yuya was even capable of raising his voice. You scared me! Let's Grim was frozen in place. The hair on his body was standing on end. Surprise also colored the faces of Ace and Deuce, but their expression quickly grew surly again. Stop fighting. Okay, buddy. Ace snorted in laughter. Ha! Now you're Mr. Goody Two-Shoes? Listen up. You know who's gonna be in the most trouble if we don't get us a mage stone? You! That's who! Honestly, Ace is actually speaking facts right now. Holy crap. Alright, seriously, why is the YouTube chat not showing up? Can I do something about that? Meow, 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 meow. No? Okay. Guess not. I know it's showing up, by the way, like in the chat, but like I can't read it, so I'm just gonna put this on. Hopefully I can catch it fast enough. Alright. You, that's who. You got nowhere else to go, right? So how can you stand there and be all, fighting's bad, let's all hold hands and be besties? You gotta be kidding me. Always the quiet ones. Yeah. Imagine going Mexican on these fools. Bring the chancla? Yeah. He jerked his chin up as if to express his disgust at the idea with his whole body. Whatever Yuya said in response, Ace would no doubt sneer and laugh and make fun of him twice as badly. Normally, he would have turned tail and run, but all the fighting had made him painfully aware that whenever he had been doing so far wasn't working, and the words came to him naturally. That's not what I meant, he said. He insisted. You can't actually be saying we should give up. Yuya scratched his head in annoyance. Listen, to tell you the truth, I'm scared too. But we have to have that mage stone, and I'll do whatever it takes to get it. I've got 2 arms, and I can spare one of them. And I'm saying I don't want anything to do with your desperate little mission, Ace told him. If you hadn't gotten in the way, I would have had that monster, Deuce yelled. As if, Ace rolled his eyes. The only magic you've got any real control over is that stupid cauldron. And you weren't even aiming right back there. Well, how could I? Deuce retorted. Anyone need a minute or two in a situation like that? And they were off again. They snarled and snarked and got absolutely nowhere. As the 2 of them yelled about whose magic had held back whom and how, you remembered what the head mage had said about magic not being a panacea. Ooh. As an outsider, magic seemed like a dream to him, but it was a lot harder to control than he thought. It sounded like Deuce was saying that you needed to be able to concentrate to make the magic do what you wanted. I'm sure that I'll be able to stay calm and cast a spell if we got back in there. Deuce's voice had an empty edge to it, and his face was looking pained, as if he knew only too well that there was no way he'd be able to stay calm with an enormous angry monster charging at him. Ace is right, Yuya said finally. We'll never dig out the mage stone like this. I think we'll only be beaten back if we try to go head to head with the monster. What should we do then? Grim asked. What? You paused to think? We could work together. Work together? Ace made a gagging face. No thanks. Next you're gonna make us hold hands and sing a song or something. I'm not. Then what? Ace demanded. You didn't even do anything in there. You just ran away, so how exactly do you think you can work together with me? He recalled what the ghost had told him about the students at Nyrun College. People who prided themselves on their self-reliance, who excelled at magic. He was the most useless person there, the only one without any magical ability, and yet he was proposing that he could be of use to them. Now that he thought about it, why had Grim actually listened to him when they were facing off against the ghosts? A lot of people are just lurking as well. Hold on, there was like... TikTok just kicked me out. What the hell? Yeah, there we go. There we go, that's better. An odd sound, one that would never be found in nature, suddenly filled their ears. It was high-pitched and sounded tragic, like someone weeping. An eerie light floated in the tunnel, and the faceless bulk appeared in the darkness once more. The heavy pickaxe dragged behind it. Uh-oh. 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 Digging into the earth, the hard metal cut away at the rock, producing the ear-splitting sound. Mine. My stone. Mine. The creature groaned, alone in front of the monster. Yuya braced himself. He took a deep breath and shouted at the top of his lungs. The stone is mine! And then he whirled around and ran and clutching his flashlight. Get out! The monster lumbered heavily after him, moving bizarrely and seemingly at random, throwing its limbs about as if to set them free of its body. It seemed utterly impossible that this could have been the movement of something rational. Slipping through the large hands failing around, Yuya ran with everything he had. He stumbled over a railroad tie that had long ago fulfilled its role of supporting the tracks, and was now lying along the dark tunnel path. He fell. Eee! He shrieked as something damp grabbed his ankle. His leg was yanked back roughly, firmly, and his white socks turned black. Oh my god! We never got grabbed in the game! What? At first he could see a clearly defined handprint, but then the outline bled and spread outward, like a spot of ink leaking inside a pencil case. What? This is insane! This is what happens if an overblock actually catches you? Ew! Oh my god. So do you like just become one of them? It sounds like Yuya's gonna become one of them. Ah, wait! Ah, no, that's so awful. What? Okay. Yuya pressed his hands to the ground and tried to scrabble backward as the monster steadily closed the distance between them. The pickaxe was slowly lifted high into the air. Stones mine! The creature roared. I summon thee! Cauldron! Rang Deuce's voice, and metallic clanging filled the tunnel. Ever so tentatively, Yuya opened his eyes. The monster had been crushed under the cauldron and was kicking and struggling against the ground. Yes, got him! Deuce cried from behind a rock a few steps away from Yuya. He thrust a clenched fist into the air. This is up to you! At his signal, Ace and Grim leaped out from his separate hiding places. Yuya stepped back as Ace brandished his magical pen, and Grim puffed out his stomach. Oh, shoot. Oh, are they doing it? I think they're doing it. Wait, we didn't have to do a game plan? Small sparks crackled in the air around them. You bet! I got this! One extra large gust of wind coming up, Ace shouted. With a sight of Grim's blazing hot fire! Yeah! Grim called. When Ace fired a sharp blast of wind, Grim set his flames riding on top of the powerful breeze. The air strengthened the pale flames, and two combined, transforming into a massive spinning vortex of flames that roared and swirled straight for the monster, swallowing its massive bulk. A scream echoed through the area. The heavy cauldron clattered and shook. Beyond it, you could hear Deuce shouting, I got it! I got the mage stone! The hand he held up clutched a bright stone that dazzled the eye as it caught the light of the flames. Yeah! Let's skedaddle then! Oh, and that was Ace, not Grim. You're reading the novel? Heck yeah, I am! Ace shouted, and they all turned and raced toward the exit. Yuya started laughing in relief until he heard a heavy cawed behind him in the tunnel. Gahad? Gahad. Interesting. That's an interesting onomatopoeia. Rah! 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 The ground beneath their feet and the tunnel around them shuddered and jolted. The roaring turned their blood to ice, and they reflexively stopped moving. You gotta be kidding me, Deuce murmured. The monster howled, drowning out all the other sounds, and the rocks around them bounced up into the air. Vroosh! Something stretched out toward them in the darkness, a hand dripping with black fluid. A hideously burned cap crumbled and fell to the ground. Stone. A cracked head appeared before him, and you gaped. Stone! Give back! Watch out! Burn! Something wrapped around him, and he was shoved hard to one side. Yuya stumbled forward as there was a loud crash. When he looked back, a lantern was lying in pieces on the ground where he had been standing half a second earlier. If he hadn't been knocked aside, the lantern would have been smashed into him, and he wouldn't have come out of that collision unscathed. Eyes on the prize, man! Ace patted his shoulder. It was only then that Yuya finally realized Ace had saved him with his wind magic. That's 3 near-death experiences already? Ah, my gosh. Oh, well, major ones. There were small, minor ones at this point. This guy seriously can't take a hint, Grim cried as he sent balls of fire shooting toward the monster alongside Ace's burst of wind. Even enveloped in flames, their enemy continued to stagger forward, painfully persistent. Its sights were set squarely on Deuce and the mage stone in his hands. That's insane! Ah. Gotta stop it. Deuce looked around, uncertain. Rope? No. A cage? But anything's fine, Yuya shouted. Anything? Deuce glared at the monster as if shaking off his indecision. I summon thee! Cauldron! The magical pen he held high in the air flashed sharply. And cauldron! More cauldron! And now the finishing blow! Cauldron! Yeah! Yu winced at the succession of ear-splitting metallic crashes until he heard a snapping sound like brick and glass. He stared at the pile of large cauldrons and watched as a black puddle leaked out slowly from beneath them. When they headed out of the mine this time, nothing stopped them. They did it! They did it! Yippee! Where? Rip ears, yeah. The moon offered a gentle welcome as they exited the tunnel. The pale light spilling between the leaves of the trees dazzled their eyes, and they grew weak with relief, letting their guard down at last and sinking to the ground on wobbly knees. The grassy earth was soft, and the air that entered their lungs no longer held that clammy chill of the mine, but was filled with the refreshing verdant scent of the trees. Hey, he said, lying on his back, chest heaving. There's this thing that's been bothering me. Yeah, what? Deuce asked, too exhausted to even turn his head toward Ace. How come you can only make that cauldron, man? I mean, there's gotta be other stuff you could summon, yeah? There was a brief silence, and when Deuce finally answered, there was a sulky edge to his voice. It's the only thing that pops into my head when I'm all worked up in the moment. Like, you know, you think sorcerer, you think cauldron, you know? Okay. That is the most one-track of all one-track minds. No. An official audiobook, for real, yeah. Okay. That is the most... Oh, Ace muttered, exasperated. And then he let out a short, seemingly accidental bark of a laugh. Ha! This was followed by another and another until he was howling with laughter. Perhaps one of their own giddy relief, Grim and Deuce joined in, and eventually Yuya was rolling around giggling. It really went and snatched that maze stone right out from under the weirdo monster, Ace said, between bouts of laughter. I can't even believe it! Yeah, Deuce agreed, and it's all thanks to you for getting us on track. I mean, all I did was run away, Yuya blushed. You guys did all the work. The plan Yuya had proposed was that they use him as bait. He had thought harder about the time Grim had beaten back the ghost and how they'd run around Ramshackle Dorm together. He remembered the satisfied smile on Grim's face as Yuya held him. If he remained standing on the sidelines merely watching, he was sure Grim would never have agreed to work with him. It was only after Yuya threw himself into the fight that Grim had gone on board with him. This time, he had decided he would draw the monster's attention while the others got into place and prepared. That way, Deuce could focus and make sure his magic hits its target. And he figured Ace and Grim could be pretty strong if they combined their powers. When he outlined his ideas, the others three had been speechless, so he felt his little twinge of satisfaction. Yuya was a mere human being. He had no special powers. Grim, Ace, and Deuce were grand wizards in comparison, which was why he had been able to trust them to handle the monster. He'd been terrified to stand in that tunnel alone, but he pushed forward with his belief that the others will come through for him somehow. Aww. So, you see, it's all thanks to you guys, he said, and Deuce shook his head. You're the one who came up with the plan, Deuce said. And I mean, that was a seriously wild idea, using yourself as bait. But you totally pulled it off, dude! You got serious guts! You found it odd how Deuce speeches would get a little brash every so often. But he grinned at the enthusiasm behind the words. Deuce is maybe totally right there, Ace readily agreed. That was a pretty good plan. Even the verbal sad, little magic's not so sad with my help. That's how you do it. Yuya expected complaints like, "It's not sad," or "I'm not a furball," but Grim didn't so much as to make a peep. "Huh?" he sat up. "Grim, what are you doing?" He was digging through the grass near the entrance to the tunnel. "Something smells amazing." He sniffed around, nose wriggling, and his claws came up against something. "Found it! This is it!" He held up a black object, about as large as a gumball. It rolled around his palm and looked to be hard as a rock. They all peered at it. "Seriously, Grim?" "Well, it's not in this picture, but here's all of them laughing." Oh, cute. Yuya's not here, but you could just imagine Yuya somewhere. Probably next to Grim. In this spot up here. But there's nothing. They're still so cute, though. You're so cute, yeah. We are you, yeah. Door. I honestly can't get over it. Like, look how, like, freaking tired they look, too. Like, if you look closely to the uniform and, like, Grim's fur, you could see, like, they all kind of, like, bruised up. Oh my god. But, like, they're my babies. They're my babies right here, bro. Heart chuckle forever, bro. Yeah. Hold on, I want to see Grim, like, upright, kind of like... He's cute. They all ruffled, yeah. What's up with Grim's eye? He's just tired. He's crying up laughter, too. You can see, like, this tear. You're like, damn, I almost died. That's crazy. Ha 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 kind of face. Hey, wait. Deuce frowned. Is that a mage stone, too? Nah, Ace shook his head. I mean, I've never heard of a mage stone black as coal. Yuya looked over at the large shining main stone in Zeus's hand. The new stone was dull in comparison. Rather than reflecting the light of the moon, it seemed to suck in every last drop of it. The monster was black too, Ace noted. Maybe it's part of the wreckage? It's obviously not the same as the other stones here. Oh my god, this is the start of the addiction. Now that you mention it, Yuya said, I might have kicked something while we were running away. Grim's tail switched from side to side. He stared enraptured at the black stone, began to tremble uncontrollably. I can't, he cried at last. I gotta go for it. Time to chow down. Bruh. Huh? The three boys gaped as the black stone disappeared into his open mouth. Grim crunched away on this lump of unknown origin, found by the side of the road, and he suddenly pressed his hands to his mouth as his eyes grew wide. Meow! Are you okay? Yuya cried, worried. Yummy! Grim sprang up into the air, rich in flavor and full-bodied, like sweet fragrant flowers bursting into bloom on my tongue, a whole field of them right in my mouth. He clicked his chops deliciously and did a little skipping dance. He seemed to truly relish the black stone. You picked that up off the ground and ate it! Yuya was exasperated. Okay, so based off that description, a field full of flowers, which dwarf is that? Is that, hold on, I forgot the name of the dwarves again. There was there one named Snoopy? And when I think of, like, a field of flowers, I think of, like, one of the happier dwarves. Oh my god, that's so sad then. Like, imagine all his brothers died and, like, and the last one overblotted because all his brothers died. Oh, well, here I go again with the dark thoughts. Thank you, Dan, for the finger heart. Sneezy? No, what is it? Dopey. I think this one's Dopey. I think this dwarf is Dopey. Field full of flowers. I mean, like, happy? Couldn't describe that, but if they wanted to describe happy, they should have said, like, a pocket full of sunshine. Or something like that. It's grumpy? You think it's grumpy, even though a field full of flowers? I don't know. I feel sweet, fragrant flowers bursting into bloom on my tongue. Wait, it could be bashful too. Bashful and flowers? Could be sneezy because of hay flower. No, but when you eat like a stone, Grim. Not when Grim. When Grim eats the overblot stone, he always like describes their personality. And I'm trying to think personality-wise. And I think it's either dopey or bashful. Either way, it's very sad. Very, very, very sad to think about. Because what happened to the other brothers? Did they overblot too? Gross! Ace made a face beside him. Monsters must have real weird tastes. Don't you dare eat this by accident! Deuce tightened his grip on this precious money stone, which he needed 2 hands to hold. Yuya looked at the stone and nodded. Okay, let's go. We gotta give that thing to the head mage. Alright, we're going to the head mage now. Oh, I should have played this when they finally defeated, but it's okay. Which one can I put up? Let's do this one. Pardon? You're telling me you actually went to the enchanted mine in search of the mage stone? Rowley's stunned cry greeted them when they barged into Head Mage's office. I assume you soon give up and return. Deuce rolled his eyes at this unexpected reaction. It wasn't like that was an option. I said I'd do anything. Indeed, you did that. You did, but Crowley shrugged. Never in my wildest imaginings did I think you would actually return with the mage stone. I heard that mine was picked clean long ago, so I went ahead with preparing your expulsion documents. Are you serious? Grim shook with anger. While we were fighting that huge monster, you were expelling us? Monster? Crowley blinked at him. Yeah, Ace leaned forward toward Crowley. We got into a real tangle with a super strong, totally nasty monster. They told the head mage about what they encountered in the tunnel. The shape of it, the voice, the horror. When they were done explaining how they finally overcome it, Crowley covered his face with his hands. Probably because he was like, oh my god, I almost killed these kids. That's probably why he covered his face. Oh, goodness. They're NRC students. What did Crowley think was going to happen? Honestly, he should have known better. He should have had known better. He moaned. What's the matter, you asked timidly. Oh. Crowley's eyes grew louder and then morphed into a howl. What's with this guy's deal? Grim arched an eyebrow at the head mage. Bursting into tears in public? Oh yeah, no, that wasn't what he thought. He was thinking of something else. It can't be. Crowley sniffled and pressed his hands to his mask. To think that the victorious day would come when the students of Night River College joined hands to defeat a common foe! I did not hold that guy's hand, Deuce exclaimed. Oh, and like I would hold yours? Okay, I'm out. That's too creepy. He shot back. Bro. Deuce and Ace pointed at each other and scowled, lines cutting deep into their faces. But perhaps seeing that even this day they were in sync, Crowley nodded happily and said, I am extremely grateful in this moment. Huh? Yuya craned his head to one side, and Crowley clasped his shoulders. My doubts are allayed, he said. You have a gift. A gift? Yuya eyes grew wide. Me? What? You possess the talents of a beast tamer, the head mage declared. A beast tamer? Yuya was baffled. What even is that? Crowley grinned at him brightly. Ever since you regaled me with the tale of how you vanquished the ghost with Grim, I have wondered if that might not be the case. Ace and Zeus ignored the big reveal and continued to quarrel. Crowley watched this out of the corner of his eye as he leaned forward and began to speak. The truth is, my students have all been selected by the Dark Mirror for their exceptional talent and potential as a future mages. Yes, you nodded. You told me that before. Hold on, I gotta... Okay, much better. Whew. But at the same time, great talent begets great egos, Crowley said. Most of our students are quite proud and headstrong. They're so self-reliant and self-centered that they never even considered cooperating with others. I heard that too, he responded after a moment. This was the point the ghost had pressured upon him. But given that the person in charge was the institution was saying the same thing, he realized the issue must be more serious than he imagined. Oh, brother. Sniffling, Crowley tentatively patted Yuya's shoulder. You possess no magic. Yet, despite that, or perhaps because of it, you were able to convince those who can use magic to work together for our common goal. I am certain that you are a vital resource for the school. My educational intuition tells me so. He fell silent then. The eyes that peeked out from behind his mask firmly focused on Yuya. Head mage. He had no idea what Crowley was thinking. You spent 10 hours in school? Oh my god. Thank god you're free. Sebi? Oh, like Sebek's nickname? Ah, cute. I like your username. Peeked out from behind his mask, firmly focused on Yuya. Head mage, he had no idea what Crowley was thinking. I made my decision, Head mage said finally. In a quiet voice, Trapula Spade. Oh, hold on. TikTok chat is not updating, I just realized. Oh yeah. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now in the chat is updated. That's the nickname or username I was talking about. Oh no, the scuff. I mean, I just forgot to refresh. And TikTok always, like, I don't know why, but it always does like inactivity check and makes me like a tab out just to check that I'm still live. Like, what? No one other but TikTok does that. It's so stupid. I heard that too, he responded after a moment. This was the point that the ghost had pressed upon him, but given that the person in charge of the institution was saying the same thing, he realized the issue must be more serious than he imagined. Oh wait, no, I already read that. Head mage. I mean, my decision. The head mage said finally in quiet voice, Trapula, Spade, you have found a magnificent mage stone that is perfect for the chandelier. As promised, I hereby revoke your pending expulsions. Yippee! Yes! Deuce pumped a fist in the air. I get to stay at the school! Natch, I knew it'd all work out. Ace put his hands on his hips and shook his head in exasperated satisfaction. Happiness crept onto his face as it slackened into a smile. Crowley turned toward Yuya. Furthermore, you... Yes, sir. He stood a little taller. I am granting you the qualifications necessary to attend school at Night Raven College. What? As an actual student? He had to have misheard that, but Crowley's smile remained firm. A student? Really? You mean I don't have to be a janitor anymore? Why is that wet? Okay. Yes, did I not just tell you that you are exactly what we need at this academy? Then we must offer you an appropriate welcome. It is extraordinarily kind of me, of course. He concluded enthusiastically. Ah, brother. Yuya looked toward Grim. The small monster was standing alone off to the side. His drooping ears shadowed his face, hiding expression from Yuya, but his rounded back seemed wretched somehow. Mew was about to call out to him when Crowley's gold fingernails snapped out at his nose. Halt this instant! There is, however, one condition for your admission. A condition? Yuya's heart sank. Not to keep harping on the fact, but your inability to use magic is, for a mage, unacceptable. You would not be able to adequately pursue the school's curriculum, not to mention perform the basic tasks of a daily life, he sniffed. To that end, Grim... What? Grim lifted his face and Crowley met his eyes. You and you... Ooh, excuse me. Need water. You and you will be permitted to enter Night Raven College as one joint student, the head mage told him. One joint student? Yuya's heart leaped back up. You mean, I can attend this school too? Grim asked, stunned. Basically, yeah, Ace said. Probably, Zeus agreed. Grim's face lit up as he raced over to Yuya. He climbed up to Yuya's shoulders and used them as a podium to lock eyes with Crowley. I could be a student at Night Raven College? Hold on, this needs the music. Yes. Really? 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 You are persistent. If you must have proof, here. Crowley waved his staff, and small particles of light rained down on Grim. Glittering, they came together in soft threads, and gently stroked the white fur of his neck. The light concentrated around his torso, bounced back, and disappeared. There, in place of a magical pen, I suspect your paws cannot handle the implement. Ah, sweet! A mage stone just for me! Once the particles of light cleared away, a pale purple stone hung from a ribbon around Grim's neck. The color was different, but it was the same size as the stones and Ace's and Deuce's magical pens. A badge of studenthood at Night Raven College. Alright, I look awesome! You! Grim danced in delight. Check it out! My very own mage stone! That's great, Grim. Yuya pulled the monster down from his shoulders. He spent a mere 2 days with Grim, and he couldn't say the monster had been anything close to friendly or cooperative. He attacked Yuya the second they met, and was selfish and quick to pick a fight. Even 2 days were enough for Yuya to see that Grim was the type of troublemaker that he normally tried to stay away from. At the same time, he was painfully aware of how badly Grim wanted to be a sorcerer. There was nothing Yuya was devoted to in the same way, and perhaps that was why just seeing Grim rejoicing made his own heart sing. Cute! Probably just to make sure you could keep an eye on him and be able to get around in school without being sus during errands, yeah. Am I late? No, I mean, we're kind of reaching the end here, but it's fine. We still got like a couple more pages to go. Like, more than 10. Congratulations, he said, and really meant it. Grim grinned with all his teeth. Smiles appeared on Ace's and Deuce's face as well. Pretty great, huh, you? Deuce said happily. And you too, Grim. Perhaps not hearing him, or perhaps simply ignoring him, Grim kept humming to himself, lost in ecstatic daydreams. I am amazing! The best of the best! Cream of the crop! I'll be a great mage in no time flat! Hey, Ace whispered in you. Oh, hey, Ace said, whispered in Yuya's ear. Is he okay? Deuce asked. Probably, Yuya replied, but Deuce looked dubious. Yuya knew how he felt. Stay strong, Ace slapped his back. The two of you are one person now. You gotta keep a tight rein on that Grim, you know. 2 is 1. They were in this together. If Grim stirred up trouble again, they might face expulsion. Oh, rest assured on that point, I have thought that through. Here, for you. The head mage held out a small camera. This is a ghost camera. Oh, okay. Ghost camera. It's an old magical artifact, able to capture parts of the subject's skull. I would like you to photograph Grim and the other students with this camera. Make a record of your campus life. Report back to me. The head mage glanced at Grim. He was dancing around, waving his fist, tail swishing back and forth. It's all fine and good to be in high spirits, but I'd ask that you please report to me immediately when the high spirits reach new heights and lead to mischief. Light novel, I'm getting the twist Island on Christmas. Oh, congratulations! Yeah, this is the light novel. I understand. You nodded firmly. Now then, Crowley cleared his throat. The hour has grown late, so further details shall have to wait until tomorrow. You are all dismissed. Return to your dorms. Good night, sir! The students thanked Crowley and left the head mage's office. Ace let out a big yawn. The head mage was right. I'm seriously wiped. Come on, Deuce. Let's head back to the dorm. Yeah, I'm exhausted, Deuce agreed. I'm going straight to bed. Yuya called out as they started to walk away. Thanks for everything today. Ace and Deuce looked back at the same time and grinned. We're classmates starting tomorrow. Deuce waved. See you then! You got this, you. That was perhaps the first time Ace had called him by name. Yuya started absently as they headed off, and Grim jabbed him in the chin. Hey you, time for us to book it too. Back to Ramshackle Dorm. Apparently the name Ramshackle Dorm had stuck, but Grim didn't seem particularly bothered by it anymore. Bursting with happiness, he yanked Yuya's hand. We gotta hurry and go to bed! I mean, we're not janitors no more. Tomorrow, we'll finally! He jumped up and down, and the mage stone around his neck glittered. We're finally starting a new dazzling life as students at Night Raven College! Yippee! The end! Woo! And then that will be the start of that's the end of part 1, and the beginning of part 2. Rose Red Tyrant. Yay! The end! Ooh! Again, the art is so beautiful in this book. It was sweet. It was nice. It was perfect. Now I'm gonna just enjoy reading the rest. Honestly, I think it's like about half. Like, this is how much you've read. The second part is a little more than a half of the book, if you can see. I would say it's like 2/3. But yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna go see why YouTube did not want to appear on my little chat box thingy. Yay novel, yay! Okay. Just gonna turn this one off. And move this down here. Okie dokie. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There we go. I'm not blocking TikTok anymore. Thank you for today's stream, Rose. No problem. I had lots of fun reading this, and I was good. I'm bummer though that I didn't realize the music wasn't on. Like, I knew it was playing for for the first song, but then after that it was gone. It was done. But yeah. I think I already told you guys what the next stream is, but the next stream will be Homeo Cypher on Tuesday, and then we're gonna do book 7 sometime this week whenever they decide to release it. Oh, hold on. Can I actually find out? Let's find out. Don't forget to rate you. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. Where is it? Follow it. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna check if they have any information for what the hell? They said inactivity again? TikTok. Okay, whatever. I don't see the pop-up, so TikTok better not kick me off again. So if we go to the website, I'm gonna just check news. Did they announce anything yet? They're just saying the NRC joint exam is here. Okay, what about after that? Server maintenance is on the 25th, so tomorrow at 2 a.m. And preparation for the following events. Oh my god. Main story book 7 part 6, Evernight Armor Sebek showcase. I think I'm actually gonna pull for Sebek. I really do want Sebek. I think he's really worth it, you guys. And then there's oh yeah, they do Thanksgiving celebration for some reason. They don't do that in the JP server, but they do it in the EN server, so like whatever. And then Rook's birthday bash. Oh my god, wait, when is Rook's birthday again? It's not this week, it's next week. I need to do a French stream, a French studying stream. Does anyone speak French in the chat? I'm being so serious. Does anyone speak French in the chat? Like, I need to study it before I read all of his vignettes, because I'm 100% like 50% is gonna be like in French. Sadly, no, none. Okay, all right. I do not. All right, so I'm gonna study it up. My mom speaks a little bit, but not like crazy. Maybe I'll ask her. And then, what about that? Birthday Bloom Rook showcase, and then the Jacket Rook showcase, and then the birthday boy showcase, like so all of his showcases for his birthday, and then multi-dorm training camp, and then spell drive a uniform Leona bonus token showcase is showing up, and then winter break celebration. Damn, that is a lot. Did they announce yet when book 6 coming out? Oh, okay, yeah, they did. So book 6 is gonna come out the 26th. Isn't it the day before Thanksgiving? Let me check my calendar. They don't do Thanksgiving in Japan? I guess, yeah. No, the 28th is Thanksgiving. So Tuesday. Oh, you. Why? Okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, but I think I'm gonna have to do book 7 on Tuesday then, and then Homie Cypher will be like either Thursday or it can't be Friday. It might be Thursday or Wednesday, depending on. But then again, I do have. You know what? I do have Thanksgiving break, so I might as well stream on my break, right? I'm not doing anything major. Well, no, I do have the dinner with my family for Thanksgiving. All right, I just gotta rearrange. Next week is gonna be busy. Why? Twisted Wonderland, why? I feel like an employee at Twisted Wonderland now too, bro. I'm working like, what? Like 3 jobs now? Great. Okay, well, I'll catch you guys later. Something's gonna happen on Tuesday for sure. I don't know. But, yeah. Bye-bye, guys. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. And if you want to get the book, remember, Barnes & Noble's, local bookstore, or Amazon. Good luck. Bye-bye.